Hello and salutations, it's me Sal, welcome back to 2 Cents Toys, and today we're tying a nice little bow on Action Force. Wasp Raider has finally arrived, and I'm very excited to go over it. I very much enjoy the Swarm. I have like 7 of them, so they kind of needed a commander. This was a BotCon exclusive. I think he was like 50 bucks, something like that. I don't really remember now. There was no limit on ordering them. Anyone could order them, which is the kind of exclusive that I like. I guess kind of takes away from the exclusive factor, but that's not the point. The point is, this was available through BotCon, and you didn't even have to go to get it. Looking at it, you see we get Wasp Raider, and he's got his rifle and all the stuff that he comes with he's a Swarm, because he's just a repaint. His Action Force, Wasp Raider, Valaverse. Top of the box is Action Force, Valaverse with a BotCon exclusive. As the bottom says BotCon exclusive as well. Side of the box is Action Force, BotCon exclusive. Other side of the box has the Swarm Trooper art, only this is in green. He is Series 1, Figure 7. And the back of the box is very familiar to us by now. We have the same cross-sell with QR code. This time the file card is in yellow, 3 action points, and socials down here. All that out of the way, I'm going to get him open, we'll go over the articulation, we'll do the comparison between him and the Swarm, and we'll call it a day. Kicking us off is the stand, which is, the same mold, only this time it's in yellow. There's Action Force, steel texture, slot for the file card, 4 foot pegs. With the side-by-side of the weapons pack that gets the wings and all that stuff, we have a clear yellow option versus just regular yellow, or versus regular steel that you get with everyone else in the line. Then we have his pistol, which we've seen a couple of times with various different figures. This one is in all black, which fits down in the trigger hand with no problem at all, and unsurprisingly it fits down in the holster on the right side. We then have a knife, which is the same knife that we've seen a few times. It's identical to the one that comes with the Swarm, which fits down into one of the grabbing hands with no issues at all. Just like the Swarm, there's a sheath on the belt on the back where the knife fits without any issues. We then have Wasp Raider's rifle, which is the same as the Swarm rifle, only this has green on it instead of a body of yellow. And this is your side-by-side, very clean paint applications, has kind of a metallic sheen to it, and it fits into the trigger hand without any issues. And again, requires a little finesse just like the Swarm rifle does, but once it's on there, it's on there. Speaking of hands, we have trigger hands for the left and the right. This time they have green on them instead of yellow. We have 2 grabby hands for the knives, road flares, grenades, hinge mechanism for in and out. And we have the 2 C-grip hands for holding a rifle, holding the shield, holding whatever. And Wasp Raider comes with wings. We have some green, the yellow. This time the wings are blue, which I very much like. With your side-by-side look at the Swarm pack, color variations, there is no Swarm logo right here, unfortunately. Maybe there's an in-canon reason for that or whatever, or I can just make my own. Still utilize a peg. Have the same sculpt on the inside, which is again nice to see. And the backpack fits on the back with no problem, just like the other one. Has the same 3 settings. That's the highest and that's the lowest, and that's the middle. Which brings us to Wasp Raider. I love the gold accents in combination with the yellow, and I very much love the blue on the eyes. I think that's a very nice touch. You can see the kind of wasp motif carries down onto the thighs. Again, it's a repaint, it's a Swarm only with green and flares of gold and all that, but it's very, very sleek looking. The color combos here, like traditionally I think would clash, but they work all in conjunction together, and I think it looks great. Let's go ahead and go over articulation. He can look up that far, which again is great, because that means when he's flying he can actually look straight ahead. He can look down that far. Side to side, a little bit of tilt, some shifting. Shoulder spin 360, no problem. Much like the Swarm though, he has that little tongue lip thing on the shoulder, so if you force it, it'll come up that far. Otherwise it kind of crashes a little bit, but you can see there is enough gap right there to fit it. You just kind of have to force it up a little bit. Butterfly joint goes backwards and forwards. Bicep swivel. Double joint in the elbow comes up that far. Wrist swivel. These particular wrists pivot in and out. 2 dumbbell joints here in the abdomen and the chest. Using both allows them to lean forward that far, lean back that far, side to side. Swivel at the top, swivel at the waist. Like the rest of the line, he has drop hips. Utilizing the drop hip, he'll kick forward that far, back that far, and he'll kick up that far, though you do have to kind of move the belt around a little bit because he has that little harness thing. With the drop hip pushed up, he'll kick forward that far, kick back about that far, and he'll kick out about the same, but got this bunching up at the moment. We have a thigh swivel. Double joint in the knee comes all the way up. We have a swivel at the top of the ankle, hidden up here. Ankle will go back, forward, and ankle rocker. For those curious, that's what he looks like with the harness off. And here's your Swarm and your Wasp Raider side by side, just so you can see kind of, touches of color here and there that aren't present on the other one. Like the kind of the hornet little stripes there on the thigh pad sticks out. Clearly the green versus the silver. Gold versus silver on the belt and the mag pouches, or the lack of kind of a stripe on this one, where there's yellow here. There's little variations. Kicking off height comparisons, there's the Wasp Raider next to the Swarm, next to Condor, next to Steel Brigade, the Bone Collector, next to Karak, the Sarge. There is next to a Trooper without any armor, next to a Riot Trooper with armor, next to Rayman Tim, Classified Destro, Classified Zartan, next to Major Blood, next to Krampus, and next to his namesake, Waspinator. Well, sort of his namesake. He's Wasp Raider, that's Waspinator, but the Vintage Beast Wars one. Fairly certain that there was a Transformers like Insecticon version of Wasp Raider, but that's the one I think of. Here he's next to the Marvel Legends Scientist Supreme. And that's all I got for today. It was pretty obvious, but it's a repaint of the Swarm, but this is the commander for them. Wasp Raider is a BotCon exclusive. I'm happy with it. It's an interesting way, since they're all of a hive mind, it's an interesting way to kind of make one of them stand out as like a field commander or what have you. Scientist Supreme here, I figure, he's got that little kind of aim symbol, he kind of fits the aesthetics of the line, so he's basically just going to be the troubleshooter guy. Since they're all neuro-linked and all that, he can watch in real time and kind of, see how many drones are down and all that kind of stuff, so that's what he's going to do. He's going to be part of their R&D department, I guess. But anyway, you have to let me know what you think down below. Did you get Wasp Raider? Did you know about Wasp Raider? If you have them, what do you think of them? Do you regret not getting them? All that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if Wasp Raider is going to be continuously available anymore. I think it was a one and done kind of deal with the BotCon, so if you missed the boat on them, I'm not entirely certain what to tell you in terms of getting them. But if you'd like to get any other Action Force, those links will be in the description below for Valaverse.com. You can order them there, you can pre-order them on Big Bad and all that, but I recommend Valaverse personally because you'll get them first. If it's your first time on the channel today and you like what you saw, then all that asks is you click like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It's a great way to help me out and I very much appreciate it when you do. And I do thank you all for stopping by and spending some time with me today. So until next time, I'm Sal, and it's time for action.